So how do you think it went yesterday?
I thought it was good. We didn't get as far as I had wanted to get with the parallelograms, but that's probably not going to be a problem.
The success of the duet structure depends on focused, intentional co-planning.
Well, I love the polystrips. I mean, that was just so hands-on. That worked really well. The most successful planning sessions have 4 components to them. First would be a quick reflection on how the students are doing, where we've come from, how we feel that they are accomplishing the material. The next step would be to be clear about what our objective is, where we're going with students. So they've got a pretty good handle on that. We're going now on to...
I'm looking at page 22. What's going to happen next is they're actually going to start paying closer attention to the angles. Now that they've built these shapes with the polystrips and they've seen properties, respective of the sides, now we're going to start taking a look at the angles. And more specifically, they're going to start using angle rulers.
And then the other 2 components happen simultaneously. One is the curriculum content expertise brought in usually by the general educator, and then the structure brought in by the special ed teacher to ensure that we're meeting the needs of kids who are struggling. And we have a really great application piece here, too, right? Because we can do the discussion about Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
The real-world application activity, so important for students with special needs, explores the possibility that Amelia Earhart's disappearance was caused by miscalculation.
Which is where she was supposed to go. And when you take the angle ruler, and this map is in the book, and we have an overhead of this as well, so we can project it to the children, they're able to see that if, in fact, that plane wreckage is her, she's about 10 degrees off.
A key role of the specialist is emphasizing the learning needs of students with disabilities.
Because I'd love to get some movement in here. Obviously the angle rulers are good tactile, but I'd like to get kids physically moving too with this.
Notice how the specialist's prompting results in the classroom teacher coming up with a kinesthetic activity for the lesson.
Well, this Amelia Earhart thing might have some kids say, well, 10 degrees isn't that much. It's not a big deal. How is this possible? We could show them that if they were to be standing in the classroom and then walking away from each other,
I love that.
Set up a 10-degree thing, and then maybe they take 2 steps away. We start with a certain point, and we have the kids measure this on the floor. We could put a piece of paper down, and they could literally write on it, and then they stand on it, and then they take 1 step each.
Right,
and they can still hold hands, for example.
Right,
and then they take
but
another
further out you go. That would be great, because I think that'll make it really concrete for some of these kids who might not get it so much on a flat 2-dimensional map.
Right.
I think that's awesome.
Finally, the co-teachers decide who will take responsibility for each part of the lesson.
They're ready. Good. So let's just quick figure out who wants to do what here, how you want to do this. The biggest challenge to the duet model is to find the time. It's very time intensive, and yet as educators, it's got to be our goal to use this model because it's the best for kids. When both adults spend the time together planning the curriculum and instruction right from the beginning, we know we've built in the differentiation that's going to make all kids successful.